Hello and welcome to day 62, week 9, if you can believe it, in review. Today we're reviewing all the golden nuggets of deliciousness that we experienced this past week. So stick around and get ready to relax. This space is being held for you as a faith-based rest stop for your soul, where you can drop that heavy backpack you're carrying on your shoulders and set it down for a rest. We hope through the process you not only feel peace, but actually start to become peace today. Go ahead and grab your notebook because God will deliver dictation through this session today. Be prepared to write down your thoughts and impressions as they come to you. I always want to get the best benefit I can from my meditations, so I actually include an essential oil with each practice. And this week, our essential oil spotlight is doTERRA's Serenity, the Restful Blend. It's a magical mix of lavender, cedarwood, coriander, ylang-ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, and sandalwood essential oils, with hints of tonka bean and vanilla absolute. You can also diffuse it to help you find sweet dreams in a good night's rest. So go ahead and grab your essential oil bottle and place 1 drop in your hands and rub your palms together. Then cup your palms 6 inches away from your nose and breathe in through your nose. Hold and release through your mouth. Continue this practice as we begin to move forward. Now, let's slow things down. Take another deep breath in and out. Good. Make sure you're sitting comfortably in a chair or on the floor. Rest your feet comfortably and with your head free, close your eyes and continue deep breathing. Enjoy floating deep inside your soul for answers today. When you quiet the mind, you're actually opening up the channel for God to communicate with you at a deeper level. So be aware and mindful of the gentle impressions that come to your heart as you hold this space for yourself today. Let's take a deep cleansing breath in. And out. Good. On Monday, we discovered the irony of 2 roads. How one road leads to one destination and the other road leads to a completely different destination. Consider the choices you make every day. Your choices and your mindset produce results, or let's say, meter out certain outcomes. Sometimes we can't tell exactly what the outcome will be when we make a choice, but we certainly can weigh out the facts as we know them in the present moment. Be mindful of the choices you make. Sit with the options before hastily making the choice, because our choices today determine where we land tomorrow. What choices do I need to consider today? What would be the outcome? Today's choices determine where we land tomorrow. On Tuesday, we were introduced to a music video by For King and Country titled Burn the Ships. You can search this title on YouTube, and I highly recommend watching the video and carefully considering how what happens in the video mirrors your own life. Sometimes all we can do is burn our ships of codependence and so-called comfort. Many days are spent entrenched in roads that don't seem to go anywhere but stagnation station. We become so comfortable, we end up stunting our growth and learning. Evaluate what needs to be done and what needs to be discarded in your life. If you have a tendency to run back to toxic people, places, relatives, relationships, places, it might be time to consider burning the ships. Burn the ships, cut the ties, send a flare into the night, say a prayer, turn the tide, dry your tears and wave goodbye, and step into a new day. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and don't you look back. So long to shame, walk through the sorrow, out of the fire and into tomorrow. So flush the pills, face the fear, feel the wave disappear. We're coming clear, we're born again. Our hopeful lungs can breathe again. Oh, we can breathe again. What ship of yours needs to be burned today? What habit needs to be released? You have courage to do what needs to be done. On Wednesday, we discovered that there is a small, limited view when looking in the rearview mirror of your life. Choosing to face forward and view your life through your windshield or present moment, and what's ahead of you produces groundedness and peace. When we choose to ruminate over the past, which we can't do anything about, can cause a lot of sadness and depression. How can I focus on the windshield view of my life today? What is dwelling on the past actually costing me? How much longer am I going to keep fixated on the rearview mirror? What beauty is awaiting me if I switch my view to the windshield? On Thursday, we had an immense epiphany when we realized that we sometimes place ourselves in an interesting situation when we choose to eat our way to dis-ease, discomfort, and unhealthy mental and emotional circumstances. The age-old story of Adam and Eve really helped us understand that they ate, A-T-E, they ate the forbidden fruit. In other words, they ate their way to transgression. What could this story be telling us or mean? What could we glean from it as we ponder how to apply this story in our own lives? What am I eating that is causing upheaval in my body? How do I use food? And what is this food causing? There are many kinds of food. What am I consuming, eating, breathing, injecting, seeing, touching, hearing, viewing, that is costing me peace and optimum health? Take inventory here. On Friday, we talked about staying miles away from the trees or the ledge or the cliff in order to give us plenty of room to self-correct. When we fly too close to the trees, when we walk the razor's edge just for the thrill of it, we can crash and burn with the slightest error. Some people tell me it's thrilling to walk the edge of the ledge. This might be true. And what would it cost if there were a slight error in your circumstance? Is it worth it? Give yourself plenty of room to catch yourself if you fall, by preparing to raise your altitude. Fill your lamp with oil, save for a rainy day, or listen to the instructions God delivers to your heart. We don't have to needlessly suffer. Life is difficult enough just with its own tutoring lessons, which are out of our hands. We don't have to run to the fire and jump in just to see if the coals are hot. Give yourself some increased peace by evaluating your thoughts and your actions, and give yourself some room to soar. In what ways do I fly too close to the trees? How does this make me feel? What can I do to make sure I have more altitude underneath me today? What do I need to change in order to remove stress and fear? Take a deep breath in. And out, exhale. Good. Okay, let's come back now. Continue deep breathing, and when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Another breath in and out. Good. And as you float back to consciousness, allow yourself to surrender to the peace you've just experienced. Go ahead and cup your hands close to your nose again and take another deep breath in. An important thing to remember is meditation is simply just sitting in silence and allowing the Spirit to speak to you. It's a chance to receive messages as you hold the space for Him in the silence. So take a few moments and write down the thoughts and feelings and impressions you had today at the end of this program. In Philippians chapter 3, verse 7 and 8, we read, "But whatever were gains to me, I now consider loss for the sake of Christ. What's more, I consider everything a loss because of the surpassing worth of knowing Christ, Jesus, my Lord, for whose sake I have lost all things. I consider them garbage that I may gain Christ." And this is very applicable for this week's theme. From an earthly perspective, Saul had every reason to brag. He was a Jew from the tribe of Benjamin, and as a Pharisee, he had meticulously kept the law. Saul had education and determination. The world was at his fingertips. Then Saul met Jesus on the road to Damascus, and in an instant, everything changed. He became the Apostle Paul, and later declared that knowing Jesus was greater than any worldly achievement or birthright. Saul decided to burn the ships of his former life. What achievements do you value? Our accomplishments here on earth are of no consequence unless we're in the service of His name. A relationship with Christ surpasses everything we've ever done. May we be willing to lay aside those things that only have temporal value in order to gain eternal riches. Knowing the Lord is the greatest treasure we could ever possess. Well, my prayer for you this week and today is that you feel more peace and groundedness in your life as a result of this time you set aside every day. It helps to share our message of peace when you hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And if you know someone who could use today's message, please share this content. Also, please check the show notes below for lots of great information, along with this week's suggested music track, Burn the Ships by For King and Country. Well, it is about that time again. Thanks for showing up for you today, and be sure to give yourself a high five and a pat on the back. And remember to take in more light today than you did yesterday. Bye for now.